Today we're going to be looking at a yarn haul and a book haul. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel Kazzalistic, and hi to my new subscribers. Thank you for joining me on my crochet vlog channel. So today, as you will have seen from the introduction, we're going to be looking at a yarn haul and a book haul. This has been very kindly gifted to me by one of my friends that I've met through YouTube. I've known her for a while. She has asked to remain anonymous, so I'm not going to name names. She knows who she is. We have spoken privately, but I just want to say thank you. So I hope you'll enjoy this. Some nice yarns and some interesting books. So the books, I'm not going to go into great detail about them. I'm just going to sort of give you the name and the details, and I will probably do separate videos so you can see the inside of them and sort of do maybe sort of a mini review as much as I can without breaching copyright. So yeah, so let's crack on. So the first one is a cake, and this is James C. Brett Northern Lights One Ball One Shawl. It's double knitting yarn. So I'm sure, sorry for the glare, I've had to put my light on. It's quite dark outside today. And this is 450 metres, which is 492 yards. It's 95% premium acrylic and 5% viscose. And the shade is NL1, and it's a 150 gram cake. So there's the shade code. Excuse the nails, it's all chipped, and sod's law it chipped just before I came on camera, but hey ho. So this one is, as you can see, sort of pinks and blues and sort of a mustardy colour, these flecks of whites. Now you will have seen this one on my channel previously, and this is the exact colour that my friend Donna, who again is one of my subscribers and a very dear friend, kindly sent me. It was just before Christmas, wasn't it? On the run up to Christmas. So that means that I've now got 3 of these cakes, which means I'm going to be able to make a good size project, so I'm quite excited about that. It's really soft, it's really lovely. So that's the first one. The next one is also a cake. This time this one is King Cole. It's called Curiosity Double Knitting. There we go. This one again is 150 grams. It's 100% premium acrylic, and it's approximately 524 yards and 480 metres. So this one actually has 30 metres more on it than the James C. Brett Shawl in a Ball. So I thought that was quite interesting. It looks like quite a thin DK. This is slightly thinner than the James C. Brett one, but still a DK nonetheless. This shade is 2895, and it's called Merlin. There we go, right there. And as you will see, it's beautiful colours. So we've got all these blues, mustardy sort of colours, a little bit turquoise, and then sort of a orangey, burnt orange sort of colour on the outside. Again, it's nice and soft. So potentially one of these, if this is shawl in a ball, potentially one of these would make a shawl as well. So that's quite useful to know, because you've actually got slightly, you've got 30 metres more on this one than that one. So it's quite handy having them two together to compare. So that one would definitely be worth sort of value for money. The next one, sorry for the rattling, I've actually got 4 balls of this, but I'm just going to put the one on camera. And this one is Serdar Plush Tweed. It says a luxurious tweedy chenille yarn. There we go there. This is 100 grams, which is 66 metres or 72 yards approximately. It is 100% polyester. Shade colour is 254. It's right there. And as you can see, this is all sort of like hot pinks and purples through it. It's really, really soft. It's on a par with the oldie baby yarn that I've used recently, just as soft as that. So, and I don't know, it's thicker than the double knit. Just seeing what size needles and hooks. So, yeah, it's the same for needles and hooks. It takes a 6.5mm, so obviously it's thicker than a DK. So there we go. It's really, really soft. Now I've been told that I'm to make a teddy bear for myself out of this, so you'll be seeing this probably fairly soon. Right, and the rest of the yarns that I've got are all the same brand, so I'm just going to give you the details and the yardage and stuff, and then I'll just give you the colour shade for each one. So this is actually a yarn that you will have seen on my channel before. I've had some of this actual brand, but in a variegated form, sent to me by Sean from Sean's Crafty Corner here on YouTube. So you will have seen me make a little teddy bear sort of in variegated yarn. So I have used this before. It's nice to work with. It's a very, very soft yarn. So this is called King Cole Smooth Double Knitting. So these yarns are all going to be the same. These are all solid colours that I'm going to be showing you. 100 gram balls, 100% acrylic. They take a 4mm hook or knitting needle, depending on which floats your boat. It's approximately 236 yards, which is 216 metres. So these will all be the same, so it'll just be the shade colours that are different. So this one is shade 848 in the colour black. No great surprise with that, but it's just black. The next one, again, is exactly the same as you can see, so it's the King Cole Smooth, and this one is shade 801, sorry. So that one's just a plain white. The next one is shade 1802, and the colour is called Sand. And as you can see, it's sort of a beige colour really, isn't it? I suppose it would be sand depending on where you're from. Colour. The next colour is shade, oh, I like the name of this one, shade 1633, and it's called Peacock. So as you can see, that's a turquoise colour. The next one is shade 1632, and it is the colour Raspberry. As you can see, it's sort of a hot pink colour. Got a bit of fluff there, get rid of that. Hot pink. The next one is shade 1801, it's called Plum. I suppose it is kind of, we've got some plums that are a bit overripe though, but ours are more of like a burgundy colour. So this is kind of, I would actually call it more of a rose pink, like a dark rose pink, dusky pink. But it's really pretty. It's sort of that pink almost going into purple colour. And I've saved my favourite colour for last, of course. Those of you who've been with me for a while will know what colour is coming up. If you're new to the channel, my favourite colour is this. It's actually looking a bit blue on my screen, so hopefully I'm hoping the actual camera's picking it up properly. It is actually purple. And the colour for this is 1636, and the colour is Damson. There we go. So that's a really nice sort of dark purple. Hopefully the camera's going to focus. There we go. There you go, you can see better now. So that's all the yarn. I also got sent, just grab them, 2 bags of stuffing. So I think these have been vacuum packed, so they're actually 500 gram bags, so they're 100% polyester, so you can use them for stuffing cushions, toys, pillows, that sort of thing. Yeah, so it's classed as cushion cottoning, but this is the brand name in case anybody's interested. Hopefully you can read that okay. Like I say, it's 500 gram ball. It's by Rare Hobby GmbH. Now I know that this actually came from Amazon. So the stuffing and the books came from Amazon. The other yarns that I've shown you have all come from Purple Linda here in the UK. So I'll put the links to the relevant websites so that you can find it. I think most people know what Amazon is, but I'll put the link for Purple Linda definitely. So the last thing I've got to show you now, like I said, I'm not going to go in depth with these, otherwise it would be a horrendously long video, and not everybody's in. Some people are only interested in the yarn, some people might only be interested in the book, so I'm just trying to keep a nice balance. So I'm going to sort of basically just tell you sort of the titles and then we'll probably do some book reviews if you guys are interested. So the first one is one that I'm sure most of you will have heard of. It's called Edward's Menagerie. It's written by Kerry Lord. So there we go. So as you can see, Edward's Menagerie is basically what you can see there on the picture on the front. So there's all different animals, and Kerry Lord is the author. So the UK price, it says on the back, is £15.99. Now this is you know, this very well-known company, certainly here in the UK. I have got one of their patterns which came free with the magazine, but I haven't actually tried it yet. So we've got all sorts in here. We've got monkeys, giraffes, rhinos, elephants, zebras, monkey. There's all sorts of stuff in here. Hippo, lion. There's even an aardvark. So it's going to be quite an interesting book to show you. Now, so what I will probably do is show you the pictures of actually what's in here properly. Obviously I won't be able to, I'll have to cover up where the pattern is, but pictures we should be okay. So that's the first book. The second book is called Around the Corner, Crochet Borders by Edie Ekman, who is also the author of Beyond the Square Crochet Motifs and the Crochet Answer Book. So this is what the front cover looks like. So it doesn't have pricing for the UK, but in the US it's classed as $18.95, just to give you a rough idea. So this book, this one will be trickier to show on camera, but I give you just a little taste of what's. So it's basically all sorts of borders and edgings. And there's 150 of them in here. So obviously I wouldn't be able to show every single one, but I would probably pull out sort of some of my favourites, or perhaps one of more unusual ones in the review that I do. So I thought that was a really interesting book. It's published by Story. So right there, Story. The camera will pick it up. To hide so the camera will pick it up. Hopefully you can just about read that. It's Story with an E before the Y, basically. And the Edward's Menagerie is published by David and Charles. I forgot to say on that one, my apologies. The next book is 200 Crochet Stitches, a practical guide with swatches, charts and step-by-step instructions. And it is by Sarah Hazel. So there's all the info in a nice tidy little space. It's easy to show on camera. So as you can see, there's all sorts of different stitches and stuff on the front. The price in the UK is £12.99, and it is by Search Press. So I'll show you there. Search Press, pretty easy to find. Like I say, all these books have come from Amazon, so you should be able to find them. But I'll show you a little bit of the content. So you've got tons and tons of different. That's just one tiny section of what's in there. So this one's a bit of a crochet bible, really. It's not actually the crochet bible because I've got that as well, but it does have a huge amount of stitches. So again, I think if I was to do a review, I would probably have to pick out my favourite ones. So there's a directory of stitches. They do clusters and puffs and bobbles, different spike stitches, relief stitches, mesh and fillet, cross stitches, all sorts of stuff. So it's quite an interesting book and certainly going to be useful to have in my stash. And the last but not least book is called Snuggle and Play Crochet. I love the front cover of this. It's by Carolina Guzman Benitez. I hope I've pronounced that right. My pronunciation is not my strong point. It says it has 40 amigurumi patterns for lovey security blankets and matching toys. So there's the title and the name, so hopefully you can really decipher that for yourselves. And this is what obviously it's referring to. So this, if you've never come across them, this is a lovey. So it's basically a small blanket with usually an amigurumi head on the top, which is in the middle of the blanket, and then of course a amigurumi toy. So we all know what that is, so it doesn't need any explanation. So obviously, as you can see, they match. So I've actually been thinking about trying. I've never actually made a lovey, so I was actually quite excited when I got this one because that's given me some extra patterns to look at. So this book is £15.99 in the UK or $23.99 in the US, and the publishers are So and So. So you've got both types of sew, SEW and SO. So again, I wouldn't be able to show the patterns, but the way this book works, you've got different blankets at the front, or lovey part of it, so you can choose which type of whether you want to do a square or a circle blanket or whatever. So you've got those options, and then further back you've got the different options for all the toys, and then obviously the top parts for the loveys. So it's I think from what I can see, I haven't actually read it yet, so I'm kind of not completely familiar with the book yet, but I think it's a bit of a mix and match book, which actually, if that is the case, will be very, very useful. But I need to actually look through and sort of sit and read it properly to be absolutely sure, but that's just sort of the initial flick through. So I thought this was a really lovely book, particularly if you do like making sort of small blankets and amigurumis. It's a really nice thing, obviously ideal for people that are just having babies. So if you're looking for something to crochet as a gift for a baby, that's a good option. So that's it for the book and yarn haul. I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you very much to my donator, my gifter. I love you very much, and I'm very thankful, and I'm very glad to have you as a very dear friend of mine. Obviously you're going to be going, "Ooh, I wonder who that is." My lips are sealed, you will never know. Thank you very, very much. I do appreciate it, and I just want you guys to know that I don't take anything that's sent to me for granted. I usually end up with a few tears in my eyes every time I undo something. So if you're new to the channel, I'm a full-time carer, so my income is very, very low. So anything that anybody sends me is, you know, I get very touched. Thank you ever so much. So I hope you found that useful. If you're interested in me doing the book reviews, I'm happy to do that. I can probably set the camera up so you just see my hand and you can see the book better rather than me sort of wiggling it around on the screen. So we'll probably do that anyway. I think it's kind of interesting to see a little bit of the books. Like I say, I won't be able to show patterns or the written text, but I can certainly show you some of the pictures to give you an idea of what's in the book. So keep an eye out. I'll probably be doing that fairly soon. So that's it for the craft bit. On to the life update. Life update, it snowed a lot, which where I'm from in the UK, the area I live in is the most arid area of the UK, so we get the least rainfall comparatively, and of course obviously usually means we don't get very much snow these days. We had quite a lot, not as much as some places in the UK, but it lasted all week. So you've heard, I think in my last video, I think I put it up on Tuesday, or Wednesday. I did get caught out in a snowstorm on Monday lunchtime, and of course, sod's law, when I got home, it stopped. But then it did start snowing again, sort of into the evening and into Tuesday, and then it did settle properly. And yeah, so I've done a little video which I took on the first day that we had snow when it started settling. Some of you were interested to see sort of the area that I'm in, sort of live in day to day. So I will do a separate video for that, because I know that won't be everybody's cup of tea. So I did one earlier in the week, and then another video sort of out of the window. We're in an upstairs flat, so we did another video later in the week where I was hanging out the window where it was still snowing. I've woken up this morning. I'm recording this on Sunday the 4th of March. So I woke up this morning and it's all gone. I was really liking it. So basically a friend and I have hibernated all week. I haven't been out at all week since Monday. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm amazed that the 2 parcels that I've just shown you actually arrived at all, and they arrived on time. So fair play to the delivery drivers. I don't know that I would have wanted to drive in that, but yeah, so we were very, very lucky where we are. We're actually on a major bus route for our town, so the road outside where we live gets pretty well gritted, so cars were able to manoeuvre, unlike I know some areas of the UK. So if you were caught in the snow here in the UK, I do hope that you've managed to stay warm and you've not had any sort of, you know, slips or falls. You've been able to actually enjoy the snow. When I did the first video recording the snow, I did make a couple of snowballs and chucked them at my friend's bedroom window because she loves snow, and unfortunately she was in the kitchen when I did it, so she missed it. So I did throw snowballs, but it was all it all went to waste. But I did have a little play out in there just for 5 minutes, just to say that I've done it. So that's sort of been the main thing of the week. We're British, and I'm sure most of you know, wherever you are in the world, that us British are known for talking about the weather, which is promptly what I've just done. And I know all of my British YouTube friends that are in our young community have done exactly the same. So that is what it is. Other than that, life has been pretty quiet. I'm feeling a little bit better depression wise. Obviously, like I've said on previous videos, I've had a little bit of a blip, just one of those things. I'm feeling a little bit better. It's good. It's a work in progress, so I'm getting there. Yeah. So I do have something else going on in my life, but I'm not going to talk about that. Certainly not. Well, probably not next week, but might talk about the week after, possibly. See how things go. That is a good thing that's happened in my life, which I'm quite excited about, which predominantly has happened this week. So, but I need to talk to family members and stuff before I put that on camera, if I'm sure you understand. Yeah, so I know my mum's been hibernating as well with her remaining dog. So if you're new to the channel, Mum and I lost our 2 oldest family dogs, but she still has one surviving one. It's his first time out in the snow. She sent me a picture. He did not look impressed with the snow. So our older 2 that we lost in January loved the snow. So he's a very different dog. So it's funny how they have all their own characters, isn't it? As far as my health goes, as many of you will know from the last video, I was supposed to have an appointment on Thursday at the hospital to see a gynaecologist, and so it's sort of consultant level. Unfortunately, my friend has been quite poorly this week, and what with that and the snow on Thursday, actually the snow was at its worst where I live, so it would have been a very difficult drive. I couldn't really leave her, so I made the difficult decision on Wednesday afternoon to actually cancel my appointment and rebook it. So that means basically I've got to wait longer for my treatment, and want to discuss my treatment and decide where we're going to go from here. So I'm waiting for another appointment to come through. So I've basically been told if the secretary said that if the consultant gives her permission, she could fit me into what they class as a special clinic, which would be in April. If he doesn't agree to that, I've got to wait till June. So it's all part of the NHS, and unfortunately waiting times are a thing. The clinic I was booked into last week was actually an additional clinic to try and clear backlog, so sod's law. But I'm not overly worried. My health, I'm doing okay. I'm pretty stable at the minute, so just got to roll with it, haven't you? So yeah, unfortunately I don't have an update on that because obviously I've had to cancel and reschedule that. So other than that, life is plodding on as normal. So I hope wherever you are in the UK that you've managed to stay warm and had some fun in the snow. No slips or falls or breaks, hopefully. Yeah, how's it been wherever else in the world you are? If you're outside the UK, have you had snow, or are you in the heat of summer? I know some of you in Australia and New Zealand are. I hope that the weather's treating you kindly wherever you are, and that your health is good, and that life is being kind to you. So I'm going to end it here. The next video will be a bunny. It's made by the same people as the enormous bear that I did, and I've also used the same yarn in a different colour. Downsized my hook. The size difference is quite amazing. I'm really pleased with the results, so that will be a bunny. So that's going to be the next video. So that will be sort of early to mid-week. Sorry this is a day late, it's just been stuff been going on in my life. So I'm recording on Sunday instead of Saturday, so it's just a day later, but you probably will, I barely notice the difference, I suspect. I am going to upload a video of the snow. Like I said, I'm going to do it as a separate video. So it will interest some of you, some of it won't. I suspect I'll probably get dislikes because that's always what happens when I put something different up on the channel. But I don't care, because if you could dislike it, I get it, it's interaction. It still helps my channel, so I don't care. I prefer likes, obviously, who doesn't? So yeah, so I hope that you'll enjoy the snow video. I think it's nice to see snow, it's exciting, isn't it? So I'm going to end it here. So until next time, remember to stay well, happy crafting, and until next time, remember to stay true to yourself. Bye.